music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 I did my best, but it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I tell the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold, it's a broken hallelujah, hallelujah,
New from Barker Brothers, a game for the entire family. Scot-free. Your team has just assassinated the president. Can you get away scot-free? Shake the dice and see. Great, you found a patsy. Go again. Bonus card. You get Jack Ruby to kill your patsy. That's good because dead men don't talk. Oh no, Abraham Zapruder films the assassination. Tough break, but now you go again. And a stroke of luck, 22 material witnesses die of unnatural causes. Now your opponent shakes again. Uh-oh, look out. Life magazine buys the Zapruder film. But you buy Life magazine and show the frames out of sequence. You're almost home. Now you must spin the public opinion board. You've done it! The public believes it. You're scot-free. Available for...
I got my balls to my butthole, yeah. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Good God, I pulled too hard, now my scrotum's stretched out like a fucking yard. Oh God, I grew my balls to my butthole, baby. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. My lady doesn't want a life of watching her man use a butter knife, face down, ass up, try and saw off his sack. Oh baby, fucking please just take me back. I grew my balls to my butthole, baby. Oh my God.
We're gonna beat your ass. You just get that through your stinking traitorous heads. Excuse me, I apologize. We have a lot of Christian affiliates. I am a Christian. But I will stomp your head in if you start a fight with me, you thug scum. Anyways, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Bunch of cowards. Excuse me. I'm going to control myself right now. She is a demon damned to hell. Excuse me. I've been trying to control myself, trying to be professional about this. But at a certain point, I'm just really getting pissed. Just excuse me.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. This is our advice to take the following steps. If exposed, remove the
Podcast for the curious mind. I don't know what that means.
Broadcasting live from a Chinese-made microphone deep within the sloughs of the Buffalo. I am your host, Cussing with Hussing, with constant mayhem. Guys, that's all the energy I had. Ran it early.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Oh, man. It's Toppy Tuesday. Just a little, fling back to classic Tuesday recording live. I'm sure everyone's confused, but
Nobody knows where we're at anymore.
You know what? It's Phantom Facts. You remember we did the thing on Hank Williams, and what made him so popular was the fact they didn't know if he was going to show up or not.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we're just taking that approach. We're taking
I like it.
All right. Man, it's just been full of news. I want to start first of all. Have you guys seen the flooding along the Sioux River, along Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, and I don't think anyone cares about Nebraska.
Whoa. I'm sure some people do.
Yeah, it's been really bad. My girlfriend's family, they all of their houses went under during the flood. So her friends in Rock Valley, her kids, it's just a horrible deal. It happened in the middle of the night.
That's the worst part. That is the worst part.
Yeah, Friday
you
night.
Go up to piss and waters it up to your knees. You're like, oh, what's that? What happened?
Well, and it's just, I'm going to take that green screen out. It's horrible because middle of the night, dark, and it like rose 3 feet in a matter of 30 minutes. It was just Canton, the town just above it, got 19 inches of rain that night. And that storm was almost directly vertical in line with the entire Sioux River. And so it just flooded the whole river out. Spencer, thankfully everyone's doing well there. It's crazy though. Like they were getting people out by canoe, by boat, trying to get these people out of their apartments and homes. And they said some people went back like 4 hours later and their houses had been raided.
What?
Yeah. That's something.
Raided?
Yeah, like people were
like Scuba Steve's? Like what are we?
it's it's good old Iowa for you right there. No, but I mean,
this house has to have Nebraska national champion stuff in here. We got to go. We got to see.
No one thinks that. Here's a couple clips of it to get an idea. That's Casey's right there. I mean, just crazy amount of water that they got on out there. So I mean, and the crazy thing is FEMA's going to come in and declare which houses can be returned to and which houses can be condemned. And I mean, you're talking like probably 6,000 people displaced by this, at least 6,000 people, if not more. So, thoughts are going out to them.
Hey, maybe the government will take care of you like the illegal immigrants. You'll get a nice hotel, some cash.
Ship you where you need to go.
Yeah.
No, that's just for illegal immigrants.
Yeah,
all right.
true.
All right. Yes. I'm tired of your fake news stories, May. You're just nonstop, I mean,
is that not what we're supposed to be doing?
I mean, for example, I think you sent me this one right here, this video.
Strong possibility.
Been zero evidence zero evidence. You can ask me how can I mean Obama be the hidden puppet master for this administration, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence.
That is a cheap fake.
That was not well done.
Oh, there's still, we played that clip last week. 10 days ago.
Yeah.
And there is still news articles coming out about how that was a cheap fake video.
Yep.
And then they show the exact same video everyone saw.
That's the thing. They all came out and were like, "Oh no, those are cheap fakes, not deep fakes, cheap fakes." I'm just,
not even good ones.
yeah.
I can't get over that shot there. Obama looks beautiful with a little.
Sure, that's what Michael looks like when it's all blown out.
Oh no. You know what? This show with the title we have, we probably, it's like an insta ban on TikTok immediately for sure. But we're gonna have to talk. It's been 4 years, people. I think we need to talk about what happened in 2020. I think we all sort of have a feeling, but I have put together a compilation for later in the show. But we are receiving urgent word right now from the Surgeon General. There is a new warning coming out from the Surgeon General's office, and I think we go live to his office right now.
I'm U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy. Today,
First of all, didn't know this is what he looked like, but I completely believe he knows medicine. And I'm not saying that.
Or a good gas station burrito.
First time in the history of our office, I am issuing a Surgeon General's advisory on firearm violence.
Oh, read that. Wipe my butt with that. Firearm violence, a public health crisis in America.
Firearm violence poses to the health and well-being of our country.
Yep.
As a doctor, I've seen the consequences of firearm violence up close in the lives of the patients I've cared for over the years.
I thought he was supposed to protect us from smoking.
Yeah. Vaping, just the bad stuff. Gun violence now?
We all know how guns work. It's like, can you imagine your doctor? I'm going to need you to take it easy on that left knee and watch out for guns, John. Just be careful. Do you want to hear what else he has to say?
Oh, sure do.
Okay.
These are moms.
Have you heard about this? Did you hear he did this? Yeah. This is, yeah. Yeah, we pause him on demand, but this is
dads, sons and daughters, all of whom were robbed of their physical and mental health by senseless acts of violence. Unfortunately, the problem has continued to grow. 54% of adults in America report that they or a family member have experienced a firearm-related incident, whether they've been personally threatened with or injured by a firearm, lost a family member, witnessed a shooting, or shot a firearm in self-defense.
Okay. Like the last two witnessed a shooting. I mean,
what? Yes. Or remember Spike talked about this in his when he came on our show a few months ago about how they sort of tweaked the stats. So like actual gun violence against someone else is way, way down.
Yeah.
But, harming yourself in self-defense counts as gun violence.
Yeah.
Many
Anything to take the guns away. Anything.
I mean, and since, when did this, like this culture of, doesn't it feel like you're in some sort of weird corporate meeting with like a, you've got the little pictures and the little bullets that fly through and what are we doing?
I don't know. I didn't even. This is the first time seeing this dude's face. Like, and then you want to come and drop a hammer about you're a medical doctor and guns are naughty.
What is his like little badges on his chest stand for? I'm sort of curious. Like, what did he serve in battle? Like, is he military or does he just get that for being a surgeon general? Like, he's just general of all surgeons. Like, they would never take our medicine.
Harms are disproportionately felt in our communities.
Someone Someone please help us understand what those are for, because I'm very confused.
Individuals endure the highest rates of firearm homicides, while suicide rates are highest among veterans, older white individuals, and younger American Indian and Alaska Native.
It's a gun violence problem. Your Surgeon General is coming out and saying it's not a mental health issue.
It's a you issue.
It's a you issue. This is gaslighting for those who love to say that term. This is what real gaslighting is what this guy's doing to the American public. He's telling you that you are an idiot.
Yeah.
And
you know, like this last clip right here, younger American Indian and Alaska Native people. Okay, these Alaska Native people probably have to fucking defend themselves from fat fucking polar bears that'll eat your fucking whole body. So
let's take their guns away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's be honest, we should never have given guns back to Native Americans. So let's just go ahead and fix that too.
That's our own fault. Yeah.
No, that's our bad. Fooled me once. Big stick. Okay.
What is especially devastating?
See what I
this
mean?
has affected our children.
Why not just show me the graph? Why'd you have to draw it out for me?
Firearm violence has become the #1 cause of death among children and adolescents, more than car accidents or drug overdoses. I sat with parents.
It's suicide.
Yeah.
Those are suicide numbers. But let's not address that. Let's do anything but address the person. You know, this guy gets his badges probably made at fucking Costco and Pfizer. Yeah.
Who've lost a child to firearm violence. I've listened to their stories and felt their pain as they describe the holes in their hearts.
Literally. Whoever his writer was snuck that in there.
Yeah. And he didn't proofread it.
They have holes in our hearts. Wait a second.
As a father, I know a parent's worst nightmare is to lose a child, to feel like you can't protect your child from harm.
See, warning from the Surgeon General.
Take notes.
Wait, is
that person meant business?
I thought I hear someone talking in the background there.
Probably.
A second. You're good. Okay. All right. So we got that out of the way. I think we just play a pleasant clip here. I thought this was interesting. Have you ever heard of the haka? Or haka? You've heard of this? Do you know what this is?
The Hawk Tui? The Hawk Tui?
No, not the Hawk Tua. Get your mind out of the blowjob gutter. Jesus Christ. No, I'm referring to a ancient dance called the haka or haka from, I think it's like like those island nations like Samoa and all those, I forget
the homeland of Dwayne Johnson.
And now the All Blacks just waiting for the French to peel off the tracksuits.
This is
actually really awesome.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is the haka. I'm gonna make the New Zealanders pronounce it like haka, like a hacker. So
the challenge of the haka.
All Blacks, dominant rugby team.
Yeah. This is you weren't referring to their race, but rather to the team they play for. They're just going nuts. Absolutely going nuts over this. Why can't we do this for college football? I'm down for it.
It'd be great. BYU bust this out or something. Even the all whites are doing a really good job on the all blacks team.
Be back. Oh, this is, I mean, you can just feel it. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the hacker. The hacker. Now, this is like everyone's doing this. I mean, it's been going on since 1888, since the beginning of recording it. But, you know, you'd be sort of surprised in the situations this would show up in. Say, for example, your wedding. As I'm watching it, I think like the bride is just got to be so annoyed with it, right? She's like, what the heck are we doing? Right? He's figuring out what's going on. No, she's not annoyed. She's all in.
It. Yeah,
she's all in. I have to be honest though, May. My favorite one is from the New Zealand deaf rugby team performing the haka.
Sounds like the Walking Dead soundtrack. What? No.
So Haka really just infiltrated all sorts of cultures. No,
sorry.
No, it was a beautiful moment. You know what? We may be going to hell, but there's someone else for sure that we get to decide who's going to hell, and that's our Pitbull Super.
Pitbull Super. You want to go hard like a dog? You want to go hard like a dog, Big Daddy? Not just any dog. Hard like a pit bull. Oh, yeah. Then you need Pitbull Super. Go get yourself some Pitbull Super.
Warning. Not to be used in hotel orgies with your friends. Side effects may include splitting penis or exploding penis, resembling a shotgun blast.
Pitbull Super, you stud. Try it now.
Pitbull Super. Pitbull Super Candidate of the Week comes to you from the great state of Ohio.
I'm seriously trying to get a date with the girl on the internet.
Okay, yeah, but you're going like door to door trespassing on all these people's properties.
Okay, so let's just pause it right here. This our fine gentleman right here.
This motherfucker's like 7'2".
He's a big fella, and he's looking for his girlfriend. That's what he's telling the police.
Yeah.
But people are calling the cops because they're a little freaked out because he's just going door to door asking if they've seen his girlfriend.
Is he knocking on someone's door, trespassing?
Yeah, if you don't have permission to be on their property, absolutely. So why are you going door to door?
First of all, that's a lie by the police department. So just
They have to have notification there. No trespassing. But it's just something a door knocker
Or
would
if you're
know.
trying to meet some girl from the internet for a date.
I've been after her for 5 years and I haven't heard nothing from her.
Hasn't heard from her in 5 years. You know?
So then you just show up. I mean, that makes logical sense.
You're trying to find her, man.
If I find her one day, that's fine. If not, I can leave. I just want a no answer or a yes answer.
Yeah, well, going door to door isn't going to find
What
her.
am I going to do? Sit out here, wait for them to pull out of the driveway?
Well, you don't even know where she lives.
I know I do, but I had my cell phone taken away from me. Like, I was sleeping over there by the Walgreens.
Okay.
And in that night, someone took my cell phone from
All
me.
right.
So I don't know which.
So what's your long-term plan here? Because I mean,
long-term plan
we got several complaints about you coming up, knocking on people's doors, soliciting.
That's not right, man.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm not just driving
saying that didn't
around.
Now, in this very moment, May, do you feel like this guy deserves to be a pit bull super?
I mean, I've seen this guy.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you know. Well, should we let everyone else in on the story then, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy saw an 8-year-old girl on YouTube doing crafting projects. Went from Ohio to the state they lived in to meet her. The cops proceeded to say that he was mentally unstable and he was too poor to travel or do anything like that. He wasn't a threat. And they let him go. And 5 years later, here he is going door to door looking for the 12-year-old girl. And as he explains, he was going to ask the parents for their permission to go on a date.
Yep. This motherfucker needs to be shot in the head.
But I'm just saying, if I could get a yes or no answer for her, I would leave. You know.
Just needs a yes or no.
Is he from America, you think, or is he just so fucked up on like drugs and stuff that
I think he's just really fucked up on drugs. I mean, I don't.
he sounds like
He
just
waited
big old
5 years. Now, according to the parents, they said that he made lewd comments in the comment section of her videos. And when the mom saw this, she shut everything down. All right. Why are you letting your 8-year-old have a YouTube channel in the first place?
Very true.
This goes on with, I feel like anyone that allows their young kids or even young teenagers, man, to go on to social media. It just seems like there's people.
It's a dangerous game.
This guy waited 5 years to try again.
Yeah.
It was his sole thought, message after message he sent her. I mean, that's nuts, dude.
I'm going to venture to say if you haven't found her yet, it's probably a no.
How are you to say that, man? I don't know what address.
Well,
it
because
is.
you don't know where she lives. You don't even know who she is.
Are you?
Are you from Oregon?
I am from Oregon.
Oh, you got to take this guy in.
Why?
He's been harassing my 12-year-old daughter online.
That's how old she is?
Yeah.
You're going to forbid me? Little children? My name is Ask Little Children.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
The FBI is involved in it, so please.
The FBI? You know what?
All right, hey, stop talking to him. All right, step down here on the street, get off this property. All right, I'll be with you in a second, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so there's your answer. This girl you've been talking to is 12 years old. You're obviously an adult, so that conversation.
Forbid them not.
Hey,
Forbid them not.
She is.
What did he say?
Forbid them not.
Jesus.
Thou not trespass on me.
Jesus Christ.
12 years old. That is her parent. He will forbid whatever he chooses. Am I clear on that?
12 is very old. I was looking for a 6-year-old.
Oh. All right, that's disturbing. Am I clear on that?
12 is very old. I was looking for a 6-year-old.
All right, that's disturbing.
You know what? Holy and profane, I'm holy. And so is my church, the Church of I Am Christ. I am Christ.
Right, what are you need a, what are you, homeless? Conversation.
Forbid them not.
Hey!
Forbid them not.
She is 12 years old. That is her parent. He will forbid whatever he chooses. Am I clear on that?
12 is very old. I was looking for a 6-year-old.
Jesus.
God, ugh. What a fucking psycho.
Pitbull Super.
Gives the church a bad look.
Holy crap. Don't let your kids have
On the internet.
streaming channels. Yeah, just don't let them out. Well,
But to stumble upon the right address, like, that's scary. Like, that's...
He knew the address.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
He knew the address. I'm sure maybe not. Maybe they caught him right there. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I can't. 12 is old. Yeah, don't let your kids talk to people on the internet, no matter how mature you think they are. You know, show them stuff like this. This is what happens. Crazy, evil men show up to your door. Speaking of evil men, I found an interesting clip. Didn't really know where to put it, so I'm just going to play it here. This is sort of interesting about, you know, of course, we love our truckers, and we, you know, they are the backbone of this country and other things Brooks and Dunn said. But
the public needs to know this. If you're traveling this summer for vacation or for the holidays, listen up. As of right now, the FBI is hunting down 500 truck driving serial killers. Before I get into it, if you're traveling this summer, you're going to want to be cautious traveling on I-40. So this has been going on for the past 20 years, but it's ramping up. So the FBI is guesstimating that around 1,000 plus women have been murdered by long haul truck drivers. But
did you know this?
I mean, I've heard stories of it, but yeah, when I saw this, I was just like, God, fuck, this is what those 1960 and fucking those horror movies are made out of. When you piss a truck driver off and they follow you for 300 miles,
like it's nothing.
Yeah, they just hunt you like a cheetah or like a lion because they can just keep running and running.
Yeah.
But that's not all. They also have murdered 2 couples as well at truck stops. And these are the weirdos they're catching. So this is actually a chilling last picture of this girl before she was murdered. Basically what they're doing is they're targeting SEX workers at truck stops.
Well, thankfully we're in the clear.
And unsuspecting women. What they're doing then is basically torturing these women in the back of their trailers for as long as they possibly want to, and then they end up just murdering them. But the body count is just getting higher and higher. Basically so high that they're letting it be known to the public.
500 serial killer truck drivers.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash on the truckers too hard, you know, but.
No, but that guy that goes to Dollar General or your gas station to drop off your goods could have a dead body in his sleeper.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Strong possibility now.
Let's just hope he gets there on time. That's really all we're hoping for.
You can't be late. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You can't. Yeah. Can't have a late dispatch.
No, you can't have that. That's probably why they end up killing him. Like, you made me late.
I ran out of DOT time.
It's Molek News time. Welcome to Molek News.
Yeah, everyone, you can sing along too. It's Molek News. Molek News. He's out there to eat kids and Jews. It's Molek. Molek News. It's an update, everybody.
Hopefully we'll land on Uranus. Nice tight fit.
It's Moloch News, everybody. I forget we still have that Devin part. That always makes me smile.
Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing working them nights.
Who knows? I'm sure he's making good money while he can.
Yep. You know who John Podesta is? Not to talk about Devin after doing Moloch. John Podesta. All right. So John Podesta is a guy who ran Hillary Clinton's campaign against Donald Trump. And the reason I bring him up is he was made very popular by Julian Assange, who is all over the news as of recently for striking a deal with the U.S. government. Have you heard about this deal that he struck?
I have not heard the deal. I just saw the headlines that Julian
man,
Assange said was set free or to be set free.
I'm excited. Like, I'm happy that the guy's been in like 23-hour solitary confinement, for the last 62 months.
Mm-hmm.
So the poor guy's been, just beat up. And then before that, he was 7 years in a bedroom in the Ecuadorian embassy in the UK. So, I mean, this guy has been, we're talking over 10 years.
Yep.
He's had to deal with this. And it's sort of, do you know what he is famous for? The types of data dumps he would do?
No.
So supposedly he did, well, not supposedly, he did drop the CIA files of them working on, in conjunction with MI5 to create false off switches for Samsung and Apple products, working with the corporations. Like it was a, hey, let's work together, Samsung and iPhone. Let's create some, and you may wonder, like, well, what's the big deal about a false turnoff? And the reason is because when you turn your TV off, it's no longer off. It's still on. Like a lot of these, it's starting in 2013. Samsung started putting in microphones that recorded, that could not, like you couldn't access them, but they're just built in. And then companies like Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, bought in with these companies, Samsung, who was making TVs huge back in, you got to consider this is 2012, right? We're talking 2012, 12 years ago. Samsung TVs are the primo TV.
Yep.
They're the primo TV.
8 of them.
And Apple is going nuts right now with their, they're riding high off the iPhone and their iPad. iPad is huge. And the government for the United States and the British intelligence wanted to create these microphones that went in there, but it wasn't just that. Like not only was there a corporate benefit to Netflix, Hulu, YouTube being able to listen in when you were watching on their app and decipher if you were enjoying what you were watching or if you were upset with it.
So we can recommend that again.
Right. So, I mean, that's just, they were selling that information.
Yes, 100%.
But the government got it for free. And they helped them design these type of products. Also in that document dump from Julian Assange, he talked about how they had created systems that would lock on to the operating system inside of vehicles that were, I think, like 2008 and older, for the sole purpose of assassinations. That's in. I mean, we went all over this 3 years ago talking about. You have to go to the podcast archives to look that up. So all this stuff is going on, and then you had the war atrocities that were going on in Iraq. There was a video he released of them shooting all those Iraqis sitting in a parking lot. That was, that's when the U.S. was really pissed off.
Yep.
He was just pestering the government. It didn't matter if it was the Bush.
Be able to come back, right?
Say what now?
There's no way he's going to be able to come back.
Well, here's my problem.
And be comfortable, right?
Like, he did all of these great things for the public, for us. For non-government officials, it was great to know that we were just fucking around in Iraq, murdering people who didn't need to get murdered. We needed to know that was going on. We had ideas, soldiers coming back from the war front were telling us, but now we got to see actual video evidence of it. Not just that, there were several videos of them doing stuff like this. And then, we found out that they were spying on us. He let us know that they were spying on us. Before Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden showed how they were spying on us, but Julian Assange let us know. And then they threw him in prison for 5 years in solitary confinement for 62 months. And now we're supposed to celebrate that he struck a plea deal with the U.S. government. I mean,
what do you think they need him for?
I
guarantee you they need him for something. All of a sudden this happens?
Well, this is, everyone is on Julian Assange's. I'm telling this to people who already know this. Julian, and I think this is a ploy by the Biden government. Be like, hey, we can say we freed Julian Assange, and you listen for it. Listen for it. They're the party that freed Julian Assange, but they didn't free him. They punished him for 5 years and said he served his time.
So they're going to give us Julian Assange and Brittany Griner. Good job, Biden.
For doing a First Amendment, this freedom of press, right? Actual, not CNN, not Chris Cuomo, like actual journalism. Like, hey, your United States government is spying on you and killing people indiscriminately. That's real journalism. And, by them saying they freed Julian Assange, this absolves them of all guilt. They can say, no, he did espionage and we did, we made him sit there in Britain for 5 years. He served his time. There should be no time served. He should be able to turn around and sue the U.S. government, the British government, to the nil. Anyway, John Podesta.
Take us to bankruptcy, Julian. Take us there.
This is John Podesta is the guy who emails he leaked. This is where we learn about them practicing sex magic, the Pizzagate, all of the stuff. That was Julian Assange. And John Podesta, and let me just, for people who don't know, I'll play this little clip here of John Podesta.
The following images are disturbing. This all began after WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange released hundreds of thousands of secret documents detailing a backstabbing Clinton Foundation, but it now appears the real truth Assange was leading us to was hidden between the blurred lines of Hillary Clinton's campaign manager John Podesta's released emails. Fast forward past John Podesta's brother Tony's casual email exchange with thelemic spirit cooking adherent Marina Abramovic. Rosetta Stone.
Now, remember we talked about that crazy chick? You know what she's doing right now?
No.
She's the head of education for the country of Ukraine.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
Was needed next.
This is a woman that would hold parties where you would mix period blood, sperm, and a mother's milk into a cup, and everyone would drink of it. Those were the parties John Podesta, the person that slept in the next room to Hillary Clinton for 4 years, was doing.
Verification that high-level Washington, D.C. predatory pedophiles were using a code to communicate child sex trafficking as casually as ordering a pizza. An FBI unclassified document from WikiLeaks revealed symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences, to include those who sexually abuse children, as well as those who produce, distribute, and trade child pornography, are using various types of identification logos or symbols to recognize one another and distinguish their sexual preferences. Investigators should also be attentive to pedophilia symbols advertised on websites. During examinations of computer files, investigators should be conscious of subjects who try to conceal child pornography by labeling them with symbols instead of typical suggestive, explicit names. Thus, the interest in code words. Now, clues. The menu from Comet Ping Pong. Notice the symbol of the ping pong paddles and its clever resemblance to the FBI document's symbol for child love. All right, hang on, New York Times. Before you declare this fake news from your ivory tower, now look at the symbol for Besta Pizza, just 2 doors down from Comet Ping Pong Pizza, boldly using the symbol for boy lover as was recorded on the unclassified FBI document. The evidence begins to reveal that Besta Pizza and Comet Ping Pong Pizza may be competing for the lucrative Washington, D.C. pedophile market right out in the open. Comet Ping Pong owner.
Now, I don't know about you, May, but when you start your own business and, you're creating what is to be your baby,
Mm-hmm.
do you just willy-nilly go with the logo? Whatever pops up on clip art? Or do you spend time and energy trying to figure out the perfect look for the business you're creating?
Yeah, the perfect look for sure.
Right. Okay. So, accident that these symbols are on there?
Yeah, you think their marketing director was just a fucking pile of oof?
James Alefantis needs to explain himself, and so he did, via the Hillary Clinton colluding New York Times. But so many questions remain unanswered. Why was this said by the band Heavy Breathing performing in Comet Ping Pong?
He likes the world sounds. Tamales.
And little boys.
And children. I think I was his manager.
We all have a preference. See that?
What the fuck?
We all have a preference.
But didn't someone break in and couldn't get to, or didn't they try to debunk this, or was that all fake news?
The person that debunked it, I forget the reporter's name. He wrote an article about it. Has just got arrested last year for child pornography.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Last year.
Convenient.
Did you see that? I forget what magazine it was for, the New Yorker or something like that. They wrote an article about the fake crisis of child trafficking, and then they show pictures of the chief editor hanging out with Ghislaine Maxwell, best buddies. And then she goes and writes an article in her periodical talking about how this is all just nothing. It's nothing.
Why is the artwork adorning Comet Ping Pong's walls at the very least so insanely creepy, especially for a family restaurant? Why is Alefantis
did that look like a concert you would have at a family restaurant?
No.
so close to Tony Podesta as revealed in the WikiLeaks emails? And why does Mr. Podesta collect questions?
So that is a little taste of old Mr. Podesta. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So I'm sure you think, this came out in 2019, this information. Obviously, Mr. Podesta is in hiding. He's not out there making waves. He's been shown for who he is, right? You would think that. But unfortunately, Mr. Podesta gave a speech just last year.
We're coming together at a moment when the realities of the climate crisis have never been clearer, and our ability to address those realities has never been greater. 2023, of course, was the hottest year on record. July of 2023 was the hottest month on record, and every month since has been the hottest ever recorded.
Isn't it just funny listening to a speech a year ago, and now look, none of that's true.
Yeah. Well, so that's the guy that they say that resembles the Lincoln Park dude, right? Like, I don't know if they're family or what is it, Chester?
On the planet.
You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't know anything about Lincoln Park. What's
Really?
No, he sounds so disappointed. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay, hold on. Let me look.
Okay, keep playing.
Experts say 2024 is on track to be even hotter than last year, and it's already having profound consequences around the world, and especially for the most vulnerable communities. As the president noted, this is not just about the weather, it's about people. When Panama is relocating indigenous families to the mainland from the first island to be permanently evacuated due to sea level rise, when flooding in Brazil kills more than 150 people.
I mean, does it change your perspective? Like, do you really believe this guy cares about climate change? This guy's out here.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, this guy's out here eating pizza.
And displaces 500,000.
But he worries about mankind.
When the Philippines closes its schools because of extreme heat, when the UAE experiences its heaviest rainfall in 75 years, when scores of people this week are dying on the Hajj because of temperatures of 45 degrees C in Saudi Arabia, when Zimbabwe declares a statement of emergency because drought has decimated this season's harvest, and more than 100 patients at a hospital in Mali during a scorching heat wave have died, when nearly 80% of the United States population is under heat warnings because we're experiencing temperatures above 32 degrees Celsius this week. Cases of Lyme disease, malaria, and dengue are increasing across the globe.
Anyway, just thought you should keep your eye out. If you see a guy harping on climate change because he worries so much about us, it's nice to have.
Because I don't know, the rabbit holes I've went down is they say Chester Bennington and this dude could be related somehow, or
really,
and that's and the whole child trafficking, Pizzagate, and what supposedly Chester was speaking up on the child trafficking thing. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, but that'd be an interesting wormhole to go down a little bit, because I don't know anything about that one. It's everywhere. I think we can accept that it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Molex everywhere. It just reminded me, like this whole Julian Assange thing. These were the types of people he was exposing, and that's what happens when you expose people. That was interesting. Speaking of which, did you hear about who Dan Bongino is, right? Code Bongino.
Yep.
Did you hear? You remember the O'Reilly factor back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he had O'Reilly come on his show. Now O'Reilly had got off of Fox and was in pretty tough shape. And he comes on Dan Bongino's show, and I just heard about a little bit of a ruckus between those two. So I went and looked at it, and Dan Bongino is worked up. He's absolutely worked up.
You are going to go out and now start attacking us for calling out Democrats for wanting illegals to vote and calling me a fanatic when you kiss my ass to get on my show. You
Speaking about O'Reilly,
go fuck you,
Bill O'Reilly, the author of Killing Abraham Lincoln, Killing Kennedy. This is Dan Bongino's having a bit of a moment with old Bill.
Yourself, you pussy. You understand? You got something to say to me, you 6 foot tall plus piece of shit? Say it to my face. Fucking chump.
Jeez.
Piece of shit.
Okay.
You're listening to this guy, you're being played. Here, put up that article about the New York Post article I had put up. Yeah, Bill, the Democrats don't want they don't want illegals to vote. There's an act in Congress called the SAVE Act. Did you know this? You're so fucking stupid. You don't even know this, you dipshit. You know why? Let me tell you a little secret about this industry. There's about 10% of the hosts that actually do their own show. Producer Jim, am I right? Thank you. You know what the other 90% do? No, Dan, they're talking about what they care about.
Now, you may be asking yourself, what is Bongino so upset about? And
yeah, please tell.
Okay, well, it has to deal with him and O'Reilly got into an argument about whether the election had been faked, rigged.
Because
And
Dan's purple. He's pink mad. He's mad.
He's mad. And so it got me thinking, like, have you ever talked to anyone, just, your coworkers or friends you drink beers with, if you think the election in 2020 was rigged? And, we've waited almost 4 years to discuss this on Phantom Facts. But this is the truest conspiracy, I think, of our time.
Yep.
Is the election meddling. And I just, there's a lot of stuff coming out right now. I want to just give you a couple of brief clips as to what you think. This is a thought-free zone here, so if you want to share your thought in the comments, if you think the election was rigged or not, feel free to, because, I'm all ears. But I can tell you one thing. I remember it being the oddest election of my lifetime. I have never, ever remembered a time where we had to go to bed and wake up the next day and then go to bed and wake up the next day to find out who became president. Now, I understand COVID, and wasn't that convenient. But with the amount of electronic equipment there is for the election service,
You shouldn't have had 3 sleeps to figure out who the president was. And the fact that I know a lot of people are talking about like certain demographics and whatnot, like that didn't vote, that may have helped, or I don't know. I mean, because I think it was something in like Pennsylvania, like over. It's either 550 or it's something thousands of registered hunters did not vote in the 2020 election. Like a huge number, like hunters, like there was, I'll have to, because I was listening to the Drinking Pros podcast and they were talking about it, how many people just didn't vote. And I don't know if it's because they thought Trump just had it in the bag or what the case was, but
well, we're going to go into it because there's clips coming out now in these committee hearings with election officials, and everything's been very quiet. Definitely no news coverage on it. But I think the first thing I hear when people think I'm full of shit when you just bring this subject up is how easy it is to vote. And I don't think a lot of people realize that because we're all good citizens and we just assume that the ones who aren't going to try to vote. And there's a clip here I want to show. This guy goes undercover to show just how easy it is to vote with no ID whatsoever.
Did you ever vote? Would you some ID? I don't. I did before. You don't? No. No, that's going to create a problem. You can vote, but you're going to that's going to create a problem. Let's see, you have to fill out paperwork, and you have to turn in chief.
You got to fill out paperwork?
Yeah.
To vote with no ID?
Yeah.
But I can still vote?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll fill out that paperwork.
All right. Okay.
All right, now you assume the paperwork is going to be some sort of verification that this guy, grew up down the street. What are you going to say?
No, I mean, you're right. That's what I was going to say. Is it's going to be something to make it seem legit. But I guarantee it's going to be like, what's your favorite color? What do you eat at lunchtime? Okay, you're good.
Yes. He goes over to fill out his little paperwork. Someone comes up to him. No ID?
Okay. No ID.
No driver's license? Did you drive over here?
I drove, yeah.
And you don't have a license?
No, no license.
You got a registration or something in your vehicle?
No, nothing at all. No ID.
You don't have a registration?
Nothing. All right. I can still vote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're here, buddy. Why not sit down?
It's a confirmation statement. That's what you have to fill out.
A confirmation statement?
Just go ahead.
My name. The date. June 18th, right? 2024.
I'm going to have them go ahead and run through the EPD, make sure you're in the right place.
All right, name, date. Is that all you need?
I'm here to vote, but I haven't registered to vote yet.
Okay. CD.
A name, a date, signature.
Okay, so just name, date, and signature, right? That's all you need?
That's all. That's all you need in some of these areas to vote. Okay, so first of all, to think that you can just, there's a strict regimen for people who go to vote. It's evidently not. I was shocked by this. Have you seen this clip?
No, I haven't. And most companies will pay you. I think they have to pay you to go vote. I know everyone I've been associated with, you get paid to go vote.
It's interesting.
Like, you don't have to clock out and stuff. Like, they want you to go vote.
Well, I mean, when you see how easy it is, I mean, you've never seen this, right? Did you always assume it was this easy, or I mean, what was your assumption?
No, I thought it was, just like going to the fucking DMV. You need your semen, your blood type, your 8 addresses before, and everything else to just get your driver's license changed. I thought it was going to be a little bit more.
All right, so I want to establish this. It's not as hard to vote, people, and it was even easier to vote during COVID. It was easy to vote during COVID. Now, I think to set up the idea that maybe our election was rigged, we play this clip from Jeremy Sachs and Morgan Piers, or Piers Morgan, sorry. And they're talking about just the United States in general, the type of country we are. And when I say we are, I'm not talking about the individuals. I'm talking about how this country operates as a country amongst other countries in the world.
Seem very reliant on accepting Putin's worldview rather than perhaps the stark reality of the barbarism with which he's executed this war.
Yeah, maybe because I know too much about the United States, because the first war in Europe after World War II was the U.S. bombing of Belgrade for 78 days to change borders of a European state. The idea was to break Serbia, to create Kosovo as an enclave, and then to install Bondesteel, which is the largest NATO base in the Balkans in the south.
Now, you may remember this as the Lewinsky bombings. You remember this? During the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal during the Bill Clinton late era. While we were talking about Monica Lewinsky,
They were doing that.
We were
Really?
bombing
Southwest.
What do you say? 78 straight days of bombing?
Yeah. Yeah, I did not know that. So the Balkans, huh? So
You
Monica
remember
was
this with Kosovo and
No, I don't.
Slovakia, and no one does. No one does.
All we cared about is if she dragged teeth or not. We didn't know
That's
they
all
were.
we wanted to know.
Yeah, we did not know anything about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what was it? This was going on.
Balkans. So the U.S. started this under Clinton, that we will break the borders. We will illegally bomb another country. We didn't have any UN authority. This was a, quote, NATO mission to do that. Then I know the United States went to war repeatedly, illegally, in what it did in Afghanistan, and then what it did in Iraq, and then what it did.
I think we can all agree, looking back. I don't know if we agree with Afghanistan. I mean, we were all ramped up. And Osama bin Laden was in Afghanistan. Now we know that Osama bin Laden probably wasn't the mastermind behind 9/11. So with that being the knowledge, us going to Afghanistan is a really rude thing to do. It's a rude thing to do. And then we somehow tied 9/11 into Iraq. So from Afghanistan to Iraq, we made the connection. Colin Powell went up to the UN, lied. The UN still said, no, you can't go into Iraq. And we said, we're going to do it anyway. And so that's exactly what we did. This is the government, right? So now imagine if you are little old Lithuania. That's not a good example. Let's pretend you're some small country in Africa, Ethiopia, and the United States comes up to you. Do you even take that phone call? Do you even want to acknowledge their presence? These guys come in and they're just like, if you don't agree with them, we're just going to bomb you.
In Syria, which was the Obama.
We paid people to gas people in Syria. We paid people. John McCain paid someone to gas people using gas, which hadn't been used since World War I.
Administration, especially Obama and Hillary Clinton, tasking the CIA to overthrow Bashar al-Assad, and then what it did with NATO illegally.
And can we talk about how that we still haven't left Syria?
That's very true. Yep.
We have. How does that work? How do you be a country that doesn't like America, but has to allow American bases in your country?
Yeah, how awkward.
Don't worry, we're just chilling over here in the southeastern side, just shooting rockets at Gaza, but don't worry about us.
Bombing Libya to topple Muammar Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, we talked about, was trying to create his own dinar, his own bricks, as you would say. But instead of it being European and, a gold standard, it would be a gold standard that only the African nations would trade with each other, bringing true unity to the entire continent of Africa. We killed him, just in case. I didn't know if any.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he didn't make it. Yeah.
We got pictures dragging his body through the street.
And then what?
Hillary Clinton actually laughs when told the news. Remember that interview? I wish I could find that.
What it did in Kiev in February 2014. I happened to see some of that with my own eyes. The U.S.
I'm pretty sure I was hitting on a Ukrainian NGO agent at the time because I was talking to this chick in Ukraine, Elena Zeletskaya. And, because, I like to throw around the fact that I can talk to people in Russian. And I was talking to her, and she would send me photos outside her job site. And this is late 2013, early 2014, and this is right after Crimea happened. And I knew what was going on. I knew we were infiltrating Ukraine and overthrowing their government. So I was telling her this stuff, and yeah, it's just, very interesting now that I look back.
How'd she take it? How'd she take it?
It was very I can't tell if she was just propagated or if she was actually working for NGO. She ended up leaving and going to Turkey and then Germany, and she works internationally now. But when I told her this stuff in 2014, I was like, you probably want to get out of Ukraine because that's, it's going to blow up because it's not going to go well. And I've always wanted to get the I told you so, but I never got it. So, yeah, that's a bummer.
Overthrew Yanukovych together with right-wing Ukrainian.
She was very confused how an Iowan knew so much about Ukraine. So maybe she thought I also was a spy. It could have been a double spy situation.
It's a Netflix movie just waiting to be made.
It's just two spies checking each other out.
Military forces. We overthrew a president. And what's interesting, by the way, is we overthrew Yanukovych the day after the European Union.
Now, overthrowing a president? That sort of sounds like something undemocratic.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We don't
No.
do that. We don't do that.
We have standards.
We did it. We did it elsewhere. Okay, so I think we've established the fact that big guy's bad in this situation, right? I think that's fair. So now I don't know how to present this, so I'm just going to present the clips that I clipped, right? And they're just little snippets, nothing too fancy. The first one, we're going to talk about Pennsylvania, since that's the one you brought up. The Pennsylvania vote won.
Technical employees came forward completely independent of each other and explained that they discovered that the number of votes recorded by voting machines and stored on USB drives would change between the time the polls were closed at night and when they were reopened the next morning. In other words, votes were literally appearing and disappearing in the dead of night. When we attempted to verify the integrity of these voting machines, we were allowed only a useless visual inspection of the outside of a USB drive. We were denied a forensic examination. Finally, our evidence has never been refuted, only ignored.
So that's Pennsylvania. Talking now, when you hear the term Dominion, those are the voting machines used.
Yep.
Now, these were the first creators of this also created the original ATM.
Oh.
Yeah, remember when you were a kid seeing those pop up? I'm sure they were around before I was a kid, but in the Midwest, it's very rare to see an ATM. I remember my parents thinking about how, useless that would be. You just now, when tasked by Congress to create a voting machine, they asked if they would like a option on the machines that would print out a receipt like our ATMs do. To which they were told no. No. We
can't have paper trails.
We don't want receipts. Now ask what free and fair election doesn't give you a receipt? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think the sticker "I vote" counts.
No, I don't.
think it
No.
counts.
You can get
All right.
those on Amazon.
Now we're going to hit very specific states, right? So we did Pennsylvania there. Some inconsistencies in Pennsylvania. Now let's go to the great state of Michigan and see what's going on in Michigan when it comes to the Michigan votes.
That were meant for Republicans, causing a 6,000 vote swing against our candidates. The county clerk came forward and said tabulating software glitched and caused a miscalculation of the votes. Since then, we have now discovered that 47 counties use this same software in the same capacity. Antrim County had to hand count all of the ballots, and these counties that use this software need to closely examine their results for similar discrepancies. The people of Michigan deserve a transparent and open process.
That is Michigan. So 47 counties in Michigan were using machines that had faulty software that was switching votes from Republican picked candidates to Democrat picked candidates. All right. So
that happened quite a bit, didn't it?
I mean, it happened in Colorado.
Yeah.
I know it happened in Colorado. I remember hearing the news
Was
about
Virginia the other big one?
I'm not for sure the other areas in it. The reason I'm bringing up Pennsylvania, Michigan, and these other areas, though, is because these were the swing states, right?
Oh yes.
So this is where they actually mattered historically. These areas mattered.
big one was Arizona. I remember people were shocked. Arizona almost completely swung. A heavy red state. Well, now there's this coming up from Arizona. And I got a couple clips here, so just bear with me.
And last night, the key takeaways from the hearing today, looking at my notes, there were more than 255,000 early votes shown in the county's final vote that did not have a corresponding early voting entry, meaning they didn't have that record, but yet there was 255,000 ballots. That is a lot of ballots. There were also over 23,000 who voted by mail after moving, after the cutoff, so they no longer lived in the state or in the county. There were 23,000 voters who had cast double votes. There were 9,000 more mail-in ballots were received and recorded than the official number of mail-in ballots. There's a large discrepancy, more than 255,000.
So you're getting over 10,000 mail-in ballots that were never mailed out, returned back for vote.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And then shout out to OAN. This is the second show that we've had them. Look at them doing fucking God's work.
Here is let me see here. I got Arizona signatures don't match.
Go back one slide. Who determined the number 420,987 from the 2020 election? Was that your organization that determined there were that number of failed signatures, or was that the number reported by all of the counties in Arizona?
So, Madam Chair, Senator.
So they're going to be talking about one county, the county Maricopa, where Phoenix is located.
Senator Bennett, that number is based on a review of a quarter of the 1.9 million envelopes from the 2020 election. We used 150 trained workers that studied the Secretary of State manual and followed those guidelines. And then they analyzed each voter record individually. Once we got the statistics for that first 25% or 400,000 ballots, then it was extrapolated to determine the final number.
Those are Maricopa County.
That is just Maricopa County.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to make, Madam Chair, is I think Maricopa County alone had 2,089,563 ballots in 2020, and about 1.9 million of them were by mail. And so your group analyzed about 25% of those 1.9 million in Maricopa County, came up with a percentage that you considered to have failed signature verification, then you extrapolated to get to the 420,000.
So 400, what they're estimating based off of the sample size they were given, which was a large sample size, 25% of the votes in Maricopa County had signatures that did not match with the people that sent them in.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you why this matters, because when I was in Colorado, I voted in the 2020 election I dropped it in, like a little area. Filled it all out, dropped it in the little ballot box, and it was returned to me 2 weeks later saying my signature didn't match.
Ooh.
So, I mean,
what do they go off? Your driver's license? Like, how do they?
They go off your driver's license, but I can guarantee you my signature matched.
You just had the wrong person on there.
It made me wonder, man. It really did. It made me wonder. Because I come from Iowa, where it doesn't matter. The election isn't decided in Iowa, and it isn't decided in Colorado really anymore either. It used to be.
No.
But it's a different feel when you live in a place. When you live in a different place where it actually matters, or where you're voting for someone who's not in your party. It makes you wonder. Not the state party. Colorado's heavy blue, so to vote anything red, it's very, very weird. Dale Morgan with a comment in, "Hey guys, love your show.
I miss Pitbull Bunny tonight. I'll listen to the rest at work tomorrow. I'm sleepy. Thanks, guys. Good night. Thanks, Dale. Don't worry, early on the show. So just rewind the live.
Who's Pitbull Bunny?
I think he thinks that's our Pitbull Super of the Week. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorely disappointed by this week.
Yeah.
Sorely disappointed.
Sorry, Dale. Sorry.
And then finally, Georgia. I know it's getting late, so we'll wrap it up here. The Georgia one. This one, it's 4 minutes long. It's
so your hotbeds are Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona.
Yeah. And these are all in those states. And this Georgia one is very interesting. This is an election board official talking.
One county, 3 counts, and 3 different results.
That's what I like to count.
So in one county in Georgia, they counted it 3 different times, and each time they got a different result.
Do you think if they paid these people like $75 an hour, they might, do their job right? Or, they're all just handed a pink slip at the beginning and like with instructions. This is how this is going to play out.
Well, I think most of it by installing machines to do it, you take the human factor out of it.
Yeah. But there's still a human behind it in a sense. Like the computer can be easily manipulated, as we've all witnessed.
Yes. No, I am saying it was manipulated, but I'm also saying like to get all down to the local individual. I don't think local individuals, you're not going to find very many that are going to cheat during an election. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think you're going to find a bunch of people that are willing to throw their lives away to swap out ballots under a camera.
I think people did though, right? Didn't?
Well, people were stuffing ballot boxes. That's
okay.
They don't see you actually changing the vote or throwing votes out. They're just running in the middle of the night and stuffing these boxes full of ballots. Minnesota had won like 3,000 votes from the same address, like
380,761
that was the first one.
Ballot images from one county from election day on the first count that are not found.
Lock them up! Boo! Lock them up!
17,852 ballot images from the recount that cannot be found.
Okay, good to see you.
Thousands of ballots or vote counts that were duplicated.
Oh no.
I love the people too, because they know right off the bat it's bullshit.
Think about it. First count, 528,776. Second count, 525,293. Third count, 511,727. And a final count of 527,925. Those numbers don't match.
What are you going to do about it?
Now, let me tell you.
Lock them up.
I'm an old doctor. I'm an old surgeon.
Lock them up.
When I operate, we count every needle, every sponge, and every instrument that's used in the operating room when we operate on the patient. We count them by hand. We count them 3 times. And if they don't match,
we got a problem.
We don't leave the operating room.
$380,000 votes. I mean, that's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy, gentlemen.
ladies and
And ladies.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's your Phantom fact, I guess. You know, I mean, I just don't. You know, there's only one thing I can, honestly think of.
Yeah, do it.
Fucking, just one thing that make me feel slightly better. No, it's our last episode of Pride Month, everybody. Don't you think I forgot? Not one bit. I've got 2 clips here too, so I have shown extreme restraint. But the first one right here, saying that the Dems aren't coming for your children.
You're the head of the LGBTQ Dems in Maryland. Okay. How long have you been in that position for? Since fall. Okay. Is that like a paid position? Okay. It's just more of a volunteer type thing. Is it like a super PAC or something, or is it just okay? This stuff said here, like, I want to rape you. I want to see how much of a faggot you are. What was kind of said about that?
He was talking to what he thought was a 14-year-old.
I hope you try to get away once I start fucking you.
Yeah.
I like the fantasy, and he seemed to enjoy it. And I didn't know this person, and I never intended to.
Do you think that's appropriate though?
No, of course. No, of course.
I mean, here we said it's okay if you want to jerk off looking at it, talking about your dick. And you said, stop by this morning so I can stretch your hole, faggot. Can't wait to make you my little And this was later 4 days later with no response. Can't wait to make you my little cum dump, baby boy.
Oh.
Speaking to a 14-year-old. If that doesn't sound
wait
like... Say what?
Dump. Can't wait to make you my cum dump. Oh my God.
I think to finish off Pride Month, we should just do it. Don't you think, man? We just finish off, get rid of all these clips now, be done with it. Happy Pride Month, everybody. It's at a family-friendly Drake show. Isn't that nice?
What is that?
It's a Drake show.
Because those looked real.
They did look real. They did.
Hmm.
Kudos. It's getting better. Getting
You
better.
get a quesadilla and a dangly with some titties. Interesting. Interesting. That's quite the family dinner.
Yes. Sometimes I feel like Alex Jones.
Liberal.
Yes.
I do love that clip at the beginning because it shows like how he climbed the ladder. He like upgraded his studio, like he got better, like healthier, well dressed. He
worked his way up. Yep.
Yeah,
It's all
you
getting
got to
taken
dial
away.
in.
It's all getting taken away, but that's all right. He'll be back. Anything you want to finish the show off with? I had a little bit of low energy today. Got to get through a bunch of clips. All right.
Just go out and vote. Just go out and vote.
And if you don't have an ID, vote anyway. You
Yeah,
can do it. There's no excuse
Yeah,
as to why you can't do that. No. And
see what shakes out.
make sure you have no children. Absolutely no kids. We don't want anyone having children. We want to depopulate this world as best as we can. All right. Well, I guess until next week. You know what? I think we're feeling.
The government filled with a bunch of reptiles and a bunch of pedophiles. Side check. We don't know, never make it to a trial with trafficking a child. Side check. You don't want to be scrutinized in the government or you'll be suicided. You and I both know all the truth to hide and whether he was in Biden. Fact check. The CIA killed MLK and JFK both. Fact check. The moon landing wasn't real, it was all a hoax. Fact check. Big Pharma putting profits over every single damn patient. Fact check. We all know that birds ain't real, they're just government surveillance. Fact check. Rap labels been profiting off of the prison system in jails. Fact check. We all breathe in chemicals every single day from chemtrails. Fact check. Everybody know Michelle Obama was a man and never was pregnant. Fact check. We all know that Barack Obama was really born out in Kenya. Fact check. Who decides what is real and what is cap? Who decides what is fake and what is fact? They censor someone that you hate and then you clap. But they're coming for you next. It's a trap.
broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. Citizens are advised to take the following steps. If exposed, remove the vote.